everybody, my name is Shady Shadow. This is going to be immediate impressions of Battlefield Hardline Beta. First things first, why are we in the Origin overlay right now? Why are we in the client? That's because I want to show you just exactly one of the issues that I have right off the bat of this beta. If you click play here, what's going to happen is going to take you to the website. Why are they taking you to the website? Because this is where you launch the game from. They do a web-based server search. It is not ideal. Why they couldn't put this into the game, I have no idea. Perhaps it's just because beta is beta and you're going to have a degree of issues in the beta, and there are a few issues to be had in this. However, I'm not sure if this is going to be just from the beta, or is this going to be how they're going to do it when the game actually launches in March. If it is the latter, then it is not acceptable. This is EA we're talking about, so I'm not exactly surprised. However, yeah, I don't think this is going to be ideal in the least. We need to get our act together, and is it EA or DICE or both that came up with this whole thing going on here? So anyway, you have your degree of servers, as you know now expect. A lot of people have been making up servers, and you can join this one. You can do a quick match. You can also click which ones are your favorites, and you can always have access to it in theory. Of course, a history of where you were before, and then you can also do a quick match, as I've said before. You have 3 modes. You got this heist mode right here, which basically is you are either the criminals or the cops, the 2 main factions in this game, and you try to either pull off a heist by doing extreme coordination, or you are the cops trying to stop that heist. Hotwire is more of your standard Conquest Large, as you no doubt see here. However, the control points are actually moving vehicles. Now, as far as I'm aware, you cannot do drive-bys in this game. I have tried, and it doesn't look like it is possible. However, I could be just doing it wrong, and it is possible to some extent. You can have armored vehicles, and they do have guns attached to them, in which you can use in order to down your opponents. Conquest Lodge is basically your standard Battlefield point control, as you can read here. 3 points of interest. It is more like 5. And your basic point here, your basic objective here, is to have the other team have all their tickets depleted up down to 0. If you have ever played Smite, the arena mode, this is going to be familiar to you of how this is going to work. Now, when you click quick match here, the first thing is going to happen here, if you've never played this before, it's going to ask you to download a plugin for your browser. Now, I'm not sure why they have to do this too. This is another reason why this is not ideal, the browser way of launching the game. It is because who wants to have their browser bogged down by yet another plugin? And with Google, I had to look a little bit to figure out where exactly I had to unblock the plugin. It is over here. Firefox is a bit of a different beast in of itself, but I like to use Google Chrome because Firefox has gotten so bogged down, it's basically become this generation's Internet Explorer. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to do Conquest Large, and once we install the plugin, we'll be able to go. The plugin is a requirement. You have to have it in order to launch the game. And this is another reason why I would rather have this in the game, so you don't even have to worry about this. And so when I come back, we are going to talk about the actual game, because Dextery did not work. I am recording now with XSplit. So in a moment, I am going to be switching to Dextery. Here we go. Okay, so we are in game, and before I go any further, I wanted to show you just why Dextery does not work with this game. It is because it doesn't work right off the bat. What you gotta do, I have the console up and running here, and it says render device dot present async space 0. Do that, and Dextery suddenly works. I do not know why. Maybe it's Dextery, maybe it is the beta. I don't know. But all in all, it is a very annoying thing to do because you have to do it every single time. I've heard there is a way that you can get it to be a permanent fix. However, I'm not about to go into the INI files or what have you in order to get this to work. Other thing I want to address is that when I pressed vehicles the very first time I played this game, it went into window mode, and I don't know why. I've never been able to reproduce that bug ever since I did that the first time. And the way I had to fix it is to press escape, because the game menu is not the first menu you go to in the game, because there's no other way in order to launch the game other than that web browser in order to do the matchmaking. And I had to go to options and switch my video back up to full screen. Now, as you can see here, there's obviously a field of view slider. TotalBiscuit will be very happy about this. You set it up to 120. We're going to go up to 120. Let's see how that goes. And I don't know about this field of view scaling and ads. Of course, you got your standard. You have your standard options here. I couldn't think of the word for that. I don't know how that happened to me. You have your colorblind mode, which is awesome. Resolution, I'm not sure what that's about. Open screen adjust, apply video settings. Yes, I want to apply the settings. You also have graphics quality. You have some presets here. And you can also set to however you want. If you go to custom, you can set it to anti-aliasing, the post. And we're going to set it to high for right now. See how that goes. Perhaps it's not going to be my video card. It's going to be something else that sends it to 30 FPS. Hopefully it stays at 60, but I doubt it will because I'm doing Dextery. Okay, so for this audio, you have your standard options here as well. And you also have key bindings. You can keybind everything. On default, the crouch is X and the melee is F. I don't know what made him think that that was a good move. However, you can change it if you want to. I recommend you do it to C. Matter of fact, let's see if we can find the crouch right here. Crouch, toggle. Okay. You guys are bind anyway? Yes, it is. Yes, yes. Because I don't have any... I don't have any use for the tagging system. I have no idea what that's for. I have no use for it. I usually don't use it. So we're just going to do a simple game here. I'm going to show you just what the classes are like. And I'm going to show you at least one of the classes, operator, which is basically your healer. Mechanic is your repairer. You can repair any kind of vehicle. You also have a degree of close range weapons. Operator has some range, but not a whole lot. The enforcer is going to have a good bit of range. These are going to be a heavy hitter. He's going to have the magnum shotgun here. You can upgrade with the amount of money you get through the game. And your professional is going to basically be your sniper. Now, in this map, I haven't seen any use for a professional because it is so much of an open field, and you're going to be vulnerable to helicopters, which are going to be normal on this particular map, the Dust Bowl map, which is the only map that I've ever seen the game pick for this mode. Perhaps it is just because it's a beta, as I've no doubt said. It's a beta, it's going to come out in March, so please be aware that any bugs might be fixed by the time this comes out. And of course, as I said before, the vehicles, you have your standard armored SUV. You can paint it if you so desire. However, you have to unlock all your paints if you want to use them. You do that through ranking up within the game. You can also buy other weapons to use. Of course, this is going to be very expensive. You have to get a good bit of cash in order to unlock these. And also to unlock special things in order, special gadgets in order, I shouldn't call them things, special gadgets in order to make your life easier when you go and play the game. You have your set of loadouts here for each class, but in order, again, you have to get your cash in order to buy anything in this game. And as far as I'm aware, there is no microtransactions in this game. However, you have to get your cash by doing good things within the game, like capture control points, killing enemy combatants, that other type of fun stuff. Now, when we go into the game, the standard way in order to win the game, the objective is to capture these control points. You see these control points here are A, B, C, D, E, and so on. If you don't have any control points, you're going to have to spawn over here, which is far away from the main point in the game. When I first started playing the game, I thought this was the only spawn point you had within the game. I was sadly mistaken. You can choose any of these points in order to spawn from, or you can spawn where any of your squad mates are at as well. However, the game does not really tell you this, and I wish it told you this a little bit clearer as to you can do this. However, it could be self-explanatory for some people who are veterans at the... Oh, you can actually spawn on top of the armored van, or maybe in the armored van. Something tells me that you can spawn in the van and on top of it. However, the game really doesn't tell you a whole lot. For veterans, this may be no problem, but some people just starting to get into the game, this is going to be kind of a problem. And I'm not saying to handhold everybody in playing the game, but just give you a little bit of a hint that you can actually do this. Like, select your point of spawn. It might be self-explanatory now that I'm showing you this, but still, I would like the game to have a little bit more of an explanation as to what exactly you can do, because I had to discover this. I did not know about this at first. I may be dumb, but for the people who might not be obvious to that, it is going to be a bit of a problem. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start a game. This is going to be sort of a quick game to show you just what exactly we're talking about here. This is going to be the operator. This is his main gun. And as I said before, as I probably have said, I am not exactly the best player of FPS multiplayer in the world. I am actually very, very bad at these games. So if I die a lot, please be advised that it's not anything game-wise that is a problem. It's more or less me. Because I usually don't play these games, and there's a good reason why. Besides the fact that I'm not that great of them. It's just the fact that the reason I'm not that great of them is that I fall victim to people coming up to me from behind, and I'm not sure why I'm stuttering right now. I'm really what the hell? Okay, yeah, this is a problem. Field of view slider. I'm not sure. This might be having to do with the field of view slider. Let me go into options for a second. Let me change this, because that might have been not the best move. Okay, let's try that. Save settings. Okay, and resume. Okay, I don't know why it was backing me up every once in a while. It's actually doing that. I'm not sure why. This is the first time I've actually seen this happen. I have not had this problem in which right now the game is actually backing me up. And I'm not sure why. You see that I'm just walking in places certain times in this game. Again, beta is beta, and we're going to have a load of trouble whenever... Let me see if there's anybody... Oh, yeah. A lot of people are getting this right in a moment. There's a... I don't know why. It's not the field of view slider at all. It is the fact that we're getting a lot of lag right now in this game. And that's, again, one of the issues about the beta. You're going to get it. So, basically, you're trying to not only kill the opposition, but control their points. And you do that by going to a point and then holding there until either you die or doing something like that, where another person will kill you and they will take the control point. And the more control points you get, the better off you will be, because the faster your opposition will be depleted of their tickets and you will win the game. Right now we only have one control point. You can see that in the bottom left hand corner of the screen that we are in blue. Obviously the people who are on my team are marked in blue, and the orange points are of the opposition. Of course, there are the criminals in this case. You could, as I've said, you have your choice of 2 factions that you switch on that you change to every game. The next game would be us being the criminals in that sense. And usually the game runs quite smoothly. I've never seen any problems up until this point right now, and this is a good time for me to record this. I had tried to record this the other day. However, the way that I talked and the way that I was explaining things was not ideal, so I decided to redo it. And this is what I'm getting, and I'm glad that I got this, because I could show you just exactly that you can run into some major bugs in this game right now. And it's something they may have to fix. Now, one of the other things I want these guys to fix is, you see, no doubt you have those markers that depict of your opposition. The only problem is you don't see them up close. You only see them when they're far away. And I would like for them to change that a little bit. So you have a little bit of time, you have a little bit more of a indication, because they show you your allies up close. They have the markers up close for your allies, but they don't do it for your opposition. Why? Why have they done this? Also, you can't vault over fences, high fences. The game is a little bit picky about that whole point. I don't know why you can jump over a fence. Let me see. You can't jump over this fence. Watch this. You use space to vault over fences. If I can get there without... But you can't vault over that fence, but you can vault over a fence at like a centimeter less of height than that, which is awful. And I'm getting really sick of this stuttering here. Can I climb on this? Yes, I can. Okay. So you can climb on the ladder, of course, and this would be an ideal situation for a sniper, but you can see these helicopters, and they are really prone to helicopters. There's a lot of them in this particular mode. Now, we really like more of a closed-off space for snipers to have a better... to have a little bit of protection there. Perhaps. You can see somebody has spawned right on top of me. That's one of the things you can actually do, is you can spawn where another one of your squad members are at. You also have your choice of vehicles, as I've said, and you can't do any bit of drive-bys except if you are in a vehicle that already has a weapon attached to it. And I have said about the helicopters, you can pilot one. The only thing is, it's going to take some time to get used to controls in the helicopter, because you have to use your mouse in order to steer the helicopter, and you don't have to do that with any other vehicle. So if you're going to be versed in a helicopter, you have to learn what that's all about. And I'm having a load of trouble. This is actually really good for me, not only to give you an idea of that beta is beta, but also to hide the fact that I am a complete and total noob at the game. The game really doesn't give you any degree of learning curve, actually. For those people who have played Battlefield for a long time, you're probably going to be used to everything there is to have in this game. As a matter of fact, many first-person multiplayer shooters, you're going to be able to, if you have been... I'm going to actually change this in a minute. Let me see if it will fix this. Options, let me see if video... medium, let's see if that fixes something. Okay, let me see if that fixes the... No, it does not. It still is laggy right in the moment, so it has to be the game, because I had medium on the other day, and when I recorded this, and it did not have the lag, so... no doubt it is a problem with the game, and maybe it will get sorted out by the time that this video comes out. However, it is good that we are showing you this. But the game doesn't really have that much of a slow learning curve. It is very steep, And if you're just starting to play a game like this, you are going to be quite lost, and you're going to be quite frustrated from the people who know just how to kill you multiple times before you are able to do anything to protect yourself. You have to know your points, you have to know your protection points, you have to know your blind spots, you have to know much of everything. And though most of the community I've seen so far is quite nice to you, and they will not be a dick to you, you will run into the occasional douchebag. And because of that, I would like to see more along the lines of the game easing you into the game. Not exactly hand-holding, but more along the lines of just explaining a few things to you in order to give you a head start into playing a game like this, and to ease more new players to be able to have fun playing the game instead of getting frustrated and just turning it off and never playing the game again, and shunning all first-person multiplayer shooters throughout history. Because there have been several times in Call of Duty in which I got frustrated because of somebody just running up from behind me and just knifing me before I have the chance to react to it. And that is very frustrating, and Activision has no interest in trying to fix that in order to have a multiplayer game that focuses more on skill rather than let's go up from behind and just knife somebody before they have a chance to react. I hate games like that. I really despise when games do that. So, it's no doubt that we're going to win this game. You can see down the bottom left-hand corner that our opposition that's in orange, they are losing this. And I'm not really doing that much. I'm showing you the whole thing with crouching. I set that to C. You can toggle that with C. You can switch your... What the hell? You can switch your weapons with the 1 and 2 buttons. What the hell's going on here? I don't know what that was about, but okay. But I'm having a load of trouble trying to not be frustrated by the way this guy's moving. Operation Tier Rep Track unlocked. Why can I not vault over this? I have no idea why I cannot vault over that at all. But I'm going to try to help these guys. And oh shit, I'm right on top of everybody. And that's why I would like to see a bit more in along the lines of a indicator who the enemies are, because if you have no, you can probably see self-explanatory a little bit into the game. By this point, I'm probably more understanding of who the criminals actually look like as opposed to the cops. However, if you're not ready for anything, again, you're going to get absolutely boned. And here you're going to see the main mechanic of the Dust Bowl is that around the end of the game, you're going to see this huge dust storm overtaking the map, and it's going to be hard to see anything. The visibility is going to be severely limited. So, what would I like to see happen with the game? Well, first of all, the game needs to have the matchmaking done within the game. Code that into the game. Do not put that into a web browser, because that will be not ideal, because we have to do a plugin, we got to do all this other stuff, and it's just going to be a mess. Put that into the game. Don't be lazy, EA or DICE or both. Do not be lazy about that at all. I mean, you're already criticized for doing certain things to your games, which shows that you're trying to fix things that aren't broken. Don't do it to this game. Please don't do it. Second of all, focus on the beginner. Focus on some people who have not played a game like this before. Ease them into the game. Understand that some people will not know what they're doing at first glance. You don't have to hold a hand, but just make sure they understand the basics of how to play a game like this. That way you can get more players to play a game. You can get more easeability and more accessibility to a game like this. And yeah, fix bugs like what I just got through. Let me see if it'll change through in this game, and I will close out the video there. You get your selection of vehicles that you spawn onto through this, and here's your helicopter. You also have a transport helicopter. We're going to be playing as the criminals this time. You can also... This is your armor SUV. That's the one that has the weapon with on it. And we're going to go ahead and do the operator this time. You don't change your classes. Your classes don't change based upon the... What the hell? Shit, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, shit, that's really not what I wanted to do there. I did not want to do that. And for some reason, I cannot... Thank you. Yes, there is some severe lag. I did not have that much delay before. So... Yeah, the helicopter has a different set of controls, and you might have need some time getting used to those. But what I would like to see is a little bit more of beginners easing into the game, as opposed to just close it off and not make it as accessible as possible. Again, I'm not saying hand-holding and nerfing things. I'm just saying just make it a little bit more accessible. That's all I ask. However, it is the bugs, major bugs that we have in this game right now, especially the lag you're seeing here, which might be by the time you access the beta, you might be not seeing this. But it is a huge problem, and it just seems as though it's something that could be a major issue. But please stop with the fixing things that are not broken. There is nothing wrong with coding things in the game, unless, of course, you're just doing it because you want to take it out of the beta part of the game. Hopefully that is the case, and they don't decide to do that full time in the game, because if it happens full time, then we have a major problem we need to address with EA and whoever else trying to fix things that are not broken again and again and again. And plus, mark who their enemies are. Give us the ability to mark somebody or to tag somebody or something along those lines. Don't make us have to go out in the dark with these sort of things. Where there is obviously... Oh, shit. Also, the operator, I wanted to bring this up. The operator, the way he does the healing is he puts a health pack down, and you have to have other people hover over it, and you have your squad people, which are in green, by the way. You have to have your other people hover on top of it until their health recharges to 100. And I see more on an instant health regen in that sense, because the action is fast-paced in this game, and that just bogs the game down. That just bogs your... it just slows it down to a point where you just... it just is not ideal to a game which is much more fast-paced than the health regen system would have you believe. So I like to see more attention toward that. But all in all, I'm not gonna say the game is bad. It has potential. It has potential to be a very good FPS. It has the potential to be a very good... Oh, shit. Well, that didn't work out for me. He knew I was there, and there's really not many blind spots here. But, yeah, if they can work out the bugs, that they can put the matchmaking within the game, in the game system, instead of what they're trying to do, then it might turn out to be a excellent first-person shooter. But as it stands right in the moment, it is, again, just beta, and there's not many things you can change in this game. There's not many things that you can really do outside of... There's not many maps. There's not many modes. I'd like to see a little bit more modes in this game, and them to add a little bit more maps as the beta goes along to give you a better interpretation as to what is going to be available in the game. There is another map, but I've only seen it done in hotspot mode. Shit. And there's a lot of lag here. Is that a... Oh, no, 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 no. Shit! Okay, so I just got hit. Big time. So, okay, I'm going to end the video here because it's going to run a long time if I keep going like this. So this is going to be the problem if you don't have any cars and no control points. You're going to end up having to spawn from here if there's no vehicles, which there's a vehicle there. I can show you the helicopter. I think I just show you this. You see how the controls work on the helicopter. And you have to push all these buttons in order to get this thing to move. Oh, this is actually, if you can learn how to control it effectively. Oh, shit! Well, yeah. It takes a little time in order to control just the helicopter, so yeah, that's not ideal at all. Though it's going to be a lot of fun once you understand a little bit of the helicopter, but again, not ideal. Anyway, that's what I think about Battlefield Hardline Beta. A little bit more ease into the game is going to have to happen. And do the matchmaking in-game. Don't resort to what I saw when I started the video. Anyway, until next time, my name is JD Shadow, and that just happened.